intelligent too, not only enthusiastic.
I wish you very strong and long, so much of preaching and so much of doing. Wonderful.
You're very kind.
Please, you have to attend to them. Then maybe we'll have a few minutes after.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You are forever young. Young at heart. Yes.
Young by probably a couple of years.
How old are you?
Probably younger, a little bit.
How old are you now?
74.
Oh yeah, I'm 76 now. But you're strong. I'm an old man. You're young. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'll see you a few minutes after.
Yes. You bless these boys. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Now the question I would like to ask, and just raise your hand if you'd like to answer. What worked better for you in your japa this morning and your chanting Krishna's names this morning? Raise your hand if you'd like to say, and then wait till I call on you also. Yes. And then next.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The first thing is the prayer. So the prayer helps to bring focus. Initially, if we just start chanting, our mind is wavering, but then after doing a prayer and then starting the japa really helps. And the other thing which helped me was a little bit of gratitude. Being conditioned, I cannot feel the presence of Krishna or think about the form of Krishna and all those things, but personally what I felt was somebody has come for me to improve my japa, and he has requested to stand sincerely, focus. So thinking about that, that gratitude really helped me to focus on this.
Thank you. Yes, there was something you said I'd like to comment on, but go ahead, Prabhu. There was one devotee yesterday whose voice was so powerful that he didn't need a microphone. Who was that? Yes, that's, you were one, but there was someone else. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu.
So the point I was meditating on today while chanting was Krishna is a person.
Yeah.
So he's hearing us. Like when we are chanting the holy names, like he's personally with us and is hearing what we are chanting, the holy names. So I was constantly meditating that Krishna is really with me and he's hearing, so I should chant so attentively.
Wow, that's an incredible.
And the other thing is like, when you're not hearing attentively, you're telling Krishna that I have more important things to do than being with you. You told this point earlier.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this also. Like I'm telling Krishna that I have more important things to do than being with you. If I'm not chanting attentively, so I was trying my best to hear the holy.
And perhaps that's all we can do is try our best. And interestingly, our best will always be insufficient. So what happens when we understand our best is insufficient? There's several alternatives. One is we can give up. One is we can criticize someone, which is what we usually do. Excuse me. I shouldn't say we, I should say me. And then third one is become humble. Of course, there are other alternatives, but we can become humble. And what does humility mean? It means touching with our consciousness, our lack, our insufficiency, and then turning to Krishna in a prayerful way. Krishna means Krishna and his devotees. Krishna, turning to transcendence and begging for help, for assistance, for shelter. So therefore Mahaprabhu says, Trinada Pisani Trina. That is the key to Kirtaniya Sadhari. Who is in that speaker? Thank you. And I wanted to comment on what Mataji, she used that word sincerity. Srila Prabhupada, in the very early days of the movement, one devotee, I can't remember if it was Brahmananda Prabhu or Satsarupa Goswami Maharaj, they were scholarly people. They used to read philosophy in many books. So one of them, whoever it was, asked Prabhupada, is this philosopher or writer, is he Krishna conscious? Is this one Krishna conscious? These Western philosophers or literary persons. And finally, Prabhupada answered, their sincerity is their Krishna consciousness. In other words, how sincere we are in wanting to understand, what to speak of, serve the absolute truth. That is our Krishna consciousness. Now, it's such a nice point on one level, but the inverse is also true. Our lack of sincerity is our lack of Krishna consciousness. So what do you think about that? Raise your hand. I find it quite, just as Prabhu said, I have other things to do other than be with Krishna so much of the time. But at least during the time of our japa, we should try our best and keep these points in mind. Let us use that time as very special time, potentially very holy time, to be with Krishna. Because the consciousness of a living entity in the material world, if we understand the nature of the material world and it's how it is created, it is based in the third canto of the Bhagavatam, perhaps the 25th, 26th chapter in Kapila Muni's teachings. What is the basis of the material world? That was a question, by the way, but you have to raise your hand. What is the material world based on? What is the foundational principle of the material world? Yes.
Lust. False ego.
Yes, who said that? False ego. Yes, it is false ego. The whole material creation, false ego combines with sattva gun, rajagun, tamagun, and everything springs from that, everything in existence. And these are coverings from subtle to gross. They cover the soul. They cover us. And what is false ego? It is a concept that I am something other than Krishna's servant. So what am I other than Krishna's servant? It will depend on our karma, our fate. One soul may be thinking he's a tree. One soul may be thinking he's a young boy. How old are you? A 12-year-old boy whose name is? Oh, very nice. And is this your friend? 10 years old. And what is your name? Darshi. Very nice. I was giving class in the Delhi temple one time, and you're not your body, you're not your body, you're not your body, like that. And then I said, a lot of you look very familiar. How many of you are Punjabis? And then everyone raised their hand. And I said, you fell into my trap. It's so deep, that covering. How many of you are South Indians? Oh, North Indians, West, East. It's so deep. Conditioned soul means it's so deep that we can't see who we are. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses the metaphor of Chaito Darpana Marjanam, of the mirror that's covered by so much dust that when you look in the mirror, you don't see yourself, you see the dust. That's what it means to be a conditioned soul. So who actually are we? We actually don't have much of an idea. And we identify with all these conditioned aspects of ourselves. Are there any Punjabis here, by the way? Let's see if anyone. Oh, I can't do it. I'll get caught. But who we are comes by cleansing that mirror of the consciousness. And in one sense, the best we can do now, since we can't really see who we are, is we acknowledge or understand and become committed to the fact that Jivera Srupoi. This is the common element, the common aspect of who we are. We are Krishna's, and we are not only Krishna's, but we are Krishna's servant. We have a relationship with him. This is the teachings of that Sri Advaitacharya. This was specifically his gift. And he wanted, Mahaprabhu would treat him with so much respect. Maybe but he didn't want that. He wanted to be treated as a servant, and even to be chastised as a servant, corrected. And being a servant of Krishna was so attractive to Mahaprabhu that to Krishna, that he wanted to taste the sweetness of his own service. And therefore Mahaprabhu came. And also, I better stick to the subject. we will drift off into Leela land, which is so nice, but this is Japa session. So it is in our interest to cleanse our consciousness so that we actually are who we are, as opposed to being what we are not. It is like wearing someone else's clothes. It doesn't feel quite right. So does anyone else want to say how what helped them in their chanting this morning? Yes, you raised your hand so quickly. Yes. But but I asked him. I asked someone else. But next, okay, and then we'll start chanting. What helped you this morning, Prabhu? What's your name?
Ranjan.
Hare Krishna.
One point is the same similar to what you shared just now, that actually one devotee was sitting behind me together when we were chanting today. So he just, suddenly he called me. So I turned back and he told Krishna is a person. And I was shocked. So actually that made me so conscious. And we were helping each other by reminding each other that Krishna is a person. One time I also called him and told Krishna is a person. So actually we were so conscious, and that made me help. And we were able to actually create the names at that point of view. And so I was conscious that Krishna is person. So another point is, when I was chanting, so one time it came to my mind that okay, we have to go to the retreat.
We have to.
We have to go to the retreat today, and I these things also. So then I told myself, why am I thinking about the plans? And so let me just focus on chanting now. So it's not going to be. These plans can be thought of, after doing chanting also. It really helps actually. So just to go to the retreat, or you can say, okay, this is how I felt. No, I don't want to reflect anymore. So I just want to focus on the holy name now. That's my main goal.
May that.
That really helps actually.
Yeah.
The mind came back, and so I was able to feel that.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, you. You don't need that microphone. Try without the microphone. Loudly.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yesterday, during those chanting sessions, you were guiding us in between, but be more attentive, to do your best. So, coincidentally, this morning when I was chanting, your surrender and to book was next to the place where I was chanting. So, whenever my eyes were opening, I was able to see that book as if you are again telling me. So it was something about
But please remember, when it says surrender unto me, I don't mean surrender unto me. And that's actually the nature of false ego. It's also funny that this is a little bit of a political comment. Many years ago, that book was translated into Russian, that Surrender Unto Me book. But they had to change the title because it sounded too much like something Putin would say. With all due respect to the esteemed leader of Hare Krishna. So, you ready to be with Krishna?
Yes.
Really? Let's see. Okay, go into small groups and first pray for the strength and sincerity. May our desire to be with Krishna in service increase. May we, take advantage of his gift of the holy names. And pray to Guru Vaishnava, Srila Prabhupada, C.C. Gaurnitai, to your favorite deities, to the dust of Vrindavan, to the dust of Sridham Mayapur. And then when you're ready, begin. You can go into groups of 2, 3, 4, as you like. So begin. When you're ready. See if you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra. If you can do that, you are very fortunate, beginning with Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. If you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hare, you're very fortunate. Try your best. Good chanting. Good chanting. Try your best. See if you can sit straight also. This is your time with Krishna. It is a very rare time. It is a special time. Try your best to be with Krishna in the form of his holy names. By touching the holy names with your consciousness, by hearing. And if you become ecstatic due to Krishna's association, okay. If the form of Krishna comes to your mind, okay. How wonderful. If the qualities of Krishna come to your mind, how wonderful. If you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra, beginning with Hari, you're very fortunate. Try your best. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Try your best. Please try and keep focus. Ram Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare if your mind wanders, don't worry, it's natural. But be determined to bring it back to the simple goal of hearing Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Please try your best. Try to be sincere. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Try to listen. Try to hear mantra beginning with Hari. Okay? Try your best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram 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 Hare Hare. Try your best. Good chanting. Try your best. Ram Ram. Keep focused, please. It's a very rare time. We have nothing else to do now except be with Krishna in the form of his holy name. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Because I know when you're a young boy and it's hard to sit in one place like this and just chant, but you did it. You were chanting so nicely. And now you'll go and play a little, or what will you do? Huh?
I'm taking water.
And you'll come back even? Okay. But anyway, very happy. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And your friend also. Your friend also. Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, I had it appeared to me that there were so many devotees chanting very powerfully and nicely. That's what it appeared from my point of view. And because of your association, I was able to chant a little bit, a few mantras, better than usual. Now I had a question, but you have to raise your hands. First a comment that Prabhupada first gave when he first instructed us on the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He gave the meaning in a very simple way, but it was very deep, very deep. And the simple meaning was, O Lord, O energy of the Lord, meaning, O Srimati Radharani, O Krishna, O Krishna, O Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. And this is the great fault of the living entity, Krishna Bhule Se Jeev Anadiya Bahimukh. We turn our back on Krishna. I love to do this when I make this point. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to stand up and then turn my back on you. Okay. Okay. Oh, excuse me. It's getting harder to do this slow. Okay. Oh, look. How funny. And you too are. Now, how did it feel, even though I'm just playing in one sense, how did it feel to you personally when I turned my back on you? Excuse me? Don't be quiet. You should be very, very loudly chanting. How nice. He's correct. How did it feel when I turned my back on you? Oh, you have to raise your hand though. Did it, I mean, even though you know we're just playing, yes? Huh? Not insulting, that's the word I always come up with. Even though we're just playing in one level, but Krishna Bhule Se, forgetting Krishna, Krishna Bhule Se, the jiva, bahimukh, he turns his back on Krishna. There's some conscious, Srila Kaviraj Goswami says, there's some conscious turning our back on Krishna. There's some misuse of free will. There's a decision by the soul that, no, I want to turn my back on Krishna. I don't want to serve Krishna. I want to turn my back on my relationship with Krishna. So the process, as Srila Jiva Goswami explains in Bhakti Sandarbha, the process of sadhana bhakti Nityasadasya bhavasya prakatamiddhisadyata, is a process of turning towards Krishna, facing Krishna. Facing Krishna means facing our relationship with Krishna, coming again into relationship with Krishna. So therefore, when we chant Krishna's names, Prabhupada said, it is a prayer, a calling out of the soul to Krishna. Please allow me to serve you. O Radha, O Sri Radha, O Krishna, please allow me to serve you. I've tried to be happy in so many other ways with my back turned towards you. And if the sun is over here and I turn my back to the sun, I will just see the shadow, my own shadow. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the shadow of who we are. So when we chant, and in that same happening record where Prabhupada said, define the Maha Mantra in that way, he also said, we chanted like a baby crying for mother. That has power because it is so sincere, it is so insisting, it is so dependent. So that's sincere chanting, that I've turned my back on you, Krishna. Now please engage me in your service. With that mood, please allow me to serve you. Now, we talk about the name, and then there's also the form of Krishna. Everyone think of the form of Krishna. Close your eyes and think of the form of Krishna that is most, that you have the most relationship with. Go ahead. Or if you happen to be in front of the deities, you can keep your eyes open and just look at them if you like. But go close your eyes and just put the form of Krishna in your mind, a form that is very dear to you. And go in front of Krishna in that form. Krishna can mean Jagannath, Baldev, Subhaja, Nitai, Gaur, Panchatattva, Radha and Krishna. And go in front of them and with folded hands and a sincere heart, see if you can bring them a gift. It could be fruit, flowers, but let it be sincere. Or even a necklace of jewels or whatever. And then make a beautiful garland for that deity. Fragrant and beautiful. And you can get fruit from anywhere in the world. The sweetest of mangoes. Or some reddish rose apple fruits. Or sweet chiku fruits. And present them. Flowers, fruits, garlands, and then offer a simple prayer, a sincere prayer. And offer obeisances. And then slowly come back here to our little gathering. So Krishna is actually, Krishna is actually there, and we can approach him at any time through the holy names, through his form. Now, what's so there's name, then there's form, and what's the next? Qualities. Okay, think of a quality of Krishna. Just think of a quality of Krishna that you really appreciate. If you can't think of a quality of Krishna that you appreciate, then you should hear and read Shastra a little bit more. Because that's what we hear. We hear how even in the 7th canto, how Lord Nrsingadev came, one incarnation of the Lord came to protect one devotee, one boy devotee who was so dependent upon him and who was in a dangerous condition. This is a quality of Krishna. He's Bhaktavatsala Atma Bhajanta Vedanyata. He gives himself to his devotees. Anyone like to say a quality of Krishna that attracts them? Yes, right in the back pool. But you have to say it loudly, please. He always saves his devotees. Just imagine how much less the anxiety of our life would be if we actually gave ourselves to Krishna, Gopirte Varanam Tata, and we trusted that Krishna was going to save us, protect us. Because the greatest of the common point of all conditioned souls is fear. There's always so much fear. But giving oneself to Krishna allows one to think oneself protected by Krishna. Gotripte Varanam Tata. Anyone else would like to say it? Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Another quality. Yes, Prahlad.
Mercy.
Yeah. Why is that attractive to you, mercy?
In many situations where I don't know what to do, I'll be stuck, and but during that time I just call out for him and he helps me.
Did you hear that? During that time when I'm stuck and don't know what to do, I call out to Krishna and he helps me. So what is the connection between that and mercy?
It is his wish whether he needs to help me or not, but he's very merciful to help me.
Thank you. Thank you. When we hear Shastra, where did you get the first idea in your mind that when I'm in difficulty and don't know what to do? Do you remember where you got that idea first, that I should turn to Krishna and ask for help? Do you remember, or no? Thank you. Anyone else? Raise your hand if you'd like to say a quality of Krishna that you appreciate. Yes, sorry. Kindness. Kindness. What do you mean by kindness?
Like Krishna helped out Arjuna when he was stuck in the situation. He had when, for example, when I don't remember this clearly, when Arjuna began oath when his son was killed.
Abhimanyu.
Yeah. We told that on the cemetery, one elephant, I don't remember the person clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he covered, Krishna covered the sun to
Jayadratha. Yeah. Protect his vow. But one thing, before you go on to the next one, you should, does anyone know that pastime? Well, where Krishna covered the sun after Abhimanyu was killed. Do you know it? Could you tell? Could you tell it to him?
So
But later. Yeah, okay. You're so enthusiastic. It's so nice. Bijali nahi hai. What to do? Okay, no problem. Any other quality? Okay, you raised your hand very enthusiastically.
He says that I'm waiting for this so long time.
So what quality is that?
And he unconditionally loves each one of us.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Raise your hand. Yes.
Quality of Krishna, like he will never leave us. Like in this temporary world, everything will leave, but Krishna is the one who will always accompany us.
How do you know that? How do you know that? Huh? Yes. Yes. So you know it from the Bhagavad Gita. And what's your personal experience? How could you get the personal experience that Krishna is with you at all times? Just turn to him at any time. Did you close your eyes and think of Krishna before? Did you have some experience of Krishna's presence?
Not direct, okay, but indirect, like through experiences I get to know. I asked for something and it was immediately fulfilled in a devotional aspect.
Well, I know who to talk to when I need something. It's you. See, the light comes on. You must have thought, let the light come on. What is your name, Prabhu?
Abhishek.
Abhishek. Thank you. But Krishna is there at every moment in the form of his holy names. We just have to turn to him. That's our philosophy. That in Swatasvatara Upanishad, there are two birds in a tree. One bird is trying to eat the fruits of the tree, and the other is just witnessing, waiting for that bird to turn to him, the first bird. So this is, to me, this is a very important point, to bring the knowledge that we have from the theoretical to the practical. If one does service, a good example is book distribution. Have you ever distributed books? Yes? Okay. So have you ever done it day after day after day after day? Okay. And sometimes people are taking books, and sometimes no one is taking any books. Yes? So Krishna is very kind. So some days we're distributing many books, and we're thinking, I'm a very good book distributor. I hope everyone knows this point. And then suddenly, no one takes a book, for example. And then we become somewhat depressed, perhaps. I'm a terrible book distributor. I'm in a bad mood and so many things. But then what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to turn to Krishna and say, Krishna, you're the one who was distributing the books before, and Nimitta Karan, I was trying to be your instrument, and I thought it was me who was doing it. If you want me to give me success or failure, that's up to you, but I'm going to try. I'm your servant. So if we can sincerely pray like that, then sometimes Krishna will give us the ability again, and sometimes he won't, but we're with Krishna. So when anyone tries to do any service steadily and regularly, whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, one will be in the position where one is forced to turn to Krishna. If one, not forced in one sense, but yeah, we turn to Krishna. There are some people are hiding their mobile phones in their pockets and they're still turned on. Please turn off your mobile phones, please. You follow what I mean? That when you try to do some service regularly, sincerely, you're practically forced to turn to Krishna. I'm your servant, Krishna. It's up to you. And this part of our mind may say, I want to turn away. This is too hard. But other parts say, no, I should turn to Krishna. And then we have to choose who we will listen to. Whether we want to become deeper or stay somewhat superficial. You following what I'm saying? Yeah. So what was the quality that you liked very much? That Krishna is always with you. So the challenge is Krishna is always with us, but are we always with Krishna? There is the challenge. And that's the turning to Krishna that is the purpose of our life. Thank you. So I would like to speak about or read about a little bit of a pastime, not a little bit of a pastime, but from a little bit of the Bhagavatam. Just mention something in the pastime of Ajamil. Raise your hand if you know the story of Ajamil from the Bhagavatam. What canto is it in? Sixth canto, right at the very beginning of the sixth canto. The sixth canto of the Bhagavatam is very interesting because there's a contrast between the sixth canto of the Bhagavatam and the seventh canto of the Bhagavatam. And the seventh, who is the main person in the seventh canto of the Bhagavatam? Interestingly enough, it's not Lord Nrsimhadev. It's Prahlad. But of course, when there's a drama, everyone likes to play Hiranyakashipu because it's so easy, it's so natural. I will kill you now. But Prahlad was so wonderful. And Mahaprabhu would hear the pastimes of Prahlad from Sri Gadadhar Pandit again and again and again in the pastime of Dhruvaraj, because Prahlad was so innocent in turning to Krishna. Even though he was in such a dangerous condition, continuously, he just turned to Krishna, turned to Krishna, turned to Krishna. His realization was so deep, he turned to Krishna. So he, as he says in his prayers, I've come to this world in the 9th chapter, perhaps the 10th, that I've come to this world to exhibit the quality of a pure devotee. That means constantly turning to Krishna, always taking shelter of Krishna, regardless of the circumstance. But in the 6th canto, there's always mixtures in the devotional service. So the first is Daksha. There's so many mixtures in the who knows the last chapters of the 6th canto. Yeah. Yeah, it's such an amazing pastime. You know why? You like the Bhagavatam, though, it's nice. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you why. But because I can tell I'm about to drift off into. But right in the beginning, there's the pastime of Ajamil in the 6th canto. So Ajamil is different from Prahlad. Ajamil isn't a pure devotee, but he has the fortune of naming his son Prahlad. And, excuse me, just testing you to see if you were listening. Narayana. So when he was dying, he called out his son. And then the Yamadutas came and they were going to take him away because he had committed so many inappropriate, sinful activities, given up his culture, had acted inappropriately. But somehow or another, he called out the name of his son, and he was protected by the Vishnudutas. Now, in describing the holy names a bit later in the second chapter of the sixth canto, now there's verse 9 and 10 in that chapter, and mostly in verse 9, it's talking about the holy names can give freedom from reactions of sins, and there's a whole long list, a long list of things. If you've done this, as long as you haven't chanted offensively, then the holy names will protect you. But then, and I want to read the Sanskrit, and please listen carefully. It says, Savesham up agavatam. Savetam. Yeah. Of all of them who had committed all the sins, api agavatam, persons, of all the persons who have committed many sins, idam, this, eva, certainly, sunishkritam, this is the perfect atonement for anything that anyone has done inappropriately, sinfully, badly in the past. Suniskritam, it is the perfect atonement. And what is that? Nama Viharanam, chanting of the holy name. Nama Viharanam Vishnu, of the name of Vishnu. Yata Tad Vishaya Mati. Because Mati means attention, also means intelligence. But the person who chants the holy name, it attracts the attention of Vishnu. If you chant, and there we're going back to that point that he's a person, the holy name, Krishna is a person. So when we chant the holy name, this verse says, that it attracts the attention of the Lord, of Vishnu. Is that clear? Now, I just read the word by words. Now I'm going to read that part in Prabhupada's translation and see if there's a difference. Who can understand or hear a difference? You ready? I know you're going to listen really carefully. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu, such sinful persons may attract the attention of the Supreme Lord, who therefore considers, because this man has chanted my holy name, my duty is to give him protection. Now raise your hand if you heard the difference. What is there in Prabhupada's translation that wasn't in the Sanskrit? Yes.
Prabhupada is telling about the mind of the Lord, how the Lord is thinking. That's what.
But what is the point that is there in the translation that's not there in the Sanskrit? Yes.
The Lord is thinking that he has called me, so it's my duty to.
Yes. There is no mention in the Sanskrit that it is my duty to give him protection. Now, where did Prabhupada get that from? Is he channeling the mind of Lord Vishnu? And the answer is no. That is an addition given by Srila Sridhar Swami that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has put in his commentary, and therefore Prabhupada has put it into his explanation also that will come later, but he's put it into the actual translation of the verse. The mind of Krishna is being revealed. This person, even though he was chanting the name of his son, not exactly my name, but this person has chanted my name, and it has attracted my attention, Vishayamati. And therefore, because he has called out to me, it is my duty to give him protection. Now, how liberal is that? How liberal and kind-hearted and seeing the good, Baba Grahi Janardana, seeing the good when there was almost no good. Now, he is the kind of a person, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, he is the kind of a person that we want to take shelter of, a person who is going to see the good, a person who is going to be so liberal and kind that in the moment, the times of the greatest difficulty, he's there, the time of death. If we just turn to him. This is a quality of Krishna. This is one of the qualities of Krishna. And Krishna, of course, has unlimited qualities where 64 are considered prominent. But we want to get to know this person whose mind, whose consciousness, whose heart is like this. And that will inspire us to take shelter of him, to chant his holy names, to remember that he's a person while we're chanting his holy names. When we think of the qualities of Krishna, he's so liberal, he's so merciful, he's so kind, he's always with us. And it is we who has to turn to him. So that's one quality of Krishna. What's another quality of Krishna that attracts you? Yes.
He is ever forgiving,
Yes.
tolerant.
I like that one especially. And the others too. But when I think of Prabhupada, sometimes I think of what quality of Prabhupada that I like the most, and I come up with that one. He's very tolerant. Yes, there's some hand sprouted in the back. Yes. Eternal friend. What's the Sanskrit word? Suridam. Sarvabhutanam. Yes.
Because he loving someone who doesn't love him back.
Bhaktavatsal.
Equal to all.
He's equal to all. Yes. He is love. He is also very funny, by the way. He's also very bahut chalu hai. And also so beautiful. You can speak in any language, which is very good, very handy when you want to pray to him. And whatever language you pray in, he'll understand, and maybe the people who are nearby you won't understand. So, but so many qualities Krishna has. So his name, his form, his qualities, and finally his pastimes. So the pastimes combine the name, the form, the qualities into his activities, which are his dealings with his devotees. So, yeah. What do you think? You have a very serious look on your face right this moment. What do you think?
Amazing personality.
Yeah, he's an amazing personality. There's one verse by Srila Rupa Goswami where he says something negative, apparently negative, but it's all in the positive. Don't go and see Govinda, who is playing his flute by the shore of the Jamuna underneath at Vamsivat. Don't go and see him because you'll never return. He's all attractive. Confirmed by someone's mobile phone. who has just turned it on just so to confirm that Krishna is all chapters. Now he will turn it off, I'm sure. Yes, Mataji. Such as what? He's expert in performing any difficult tasks, such as, excuse me, which demon did he kill? I can't hear. Still can't hear. What demon did he kill? Yes, so many, but name one. Who? Putana. So what was so wonderful about his killing Putana? Yes. He was so small, just 3 months, 1 month old, I think. 3 months? 1 month. 3? 3 days. Okay. 3 days? No. 1 month, I think. And he showed, and he killed her maintaining his Naralila. He just killed her with his lotus-like lips. But what is more wonderful, in one sense, than his killing Putana, who tried to kill him? You know, what is so wonderful about doing that? A whole pakayam stana kala putan becomes here didapi swadvi lebhe katim datri. With the toe now. And then what's the final line? Kamva dayalum saran. Who could take shelter of someone who more than Krishna? Where could you find some Lord more than Krishna, who when Putana came to kill him, he saw the good that she's coming to me as a nurse, as a datri. And that's what he saw. He definitely killed her. But he saw that and he gave her the position of nurse in the spiritual world. So Kamvada Elum Sharanam Brajema. So the qualities to know, to hear Shastra, to hear the pastimes of Krishna and to think about them deeply, that will help our chanting, certainly. And that will attract the attention of Krishna, calling out to him. What do you think, Prabhu? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I also think yes. Okay. Then let us, yes, with the Mahamantra. So go into groups and chant. What's your name? And how old are you?
24.
And what do you do? Where do you work? Of course, I should have known. Yes. SanDisk. SanDisk or Samsung? Okay. Samsung. Okay, but before you begin, because we were just talking a long time, focus your mind on what you're about to do. And what you would like to do and the kind of chanting you would like to do, and take shelter. And then pray to your lords. And then when you're ready to begin, then begin. Please keep studying Bhagavatam. Okay. I heard Prabhupada, I think yesterday on one lecture, he said, make Srimad Bhagavatam your life and soul. I heard Prabhupada say that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So sit up straight and try your best. And if you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hare, you are very fortunate. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. And remember Krishna as a person. Supreme person, the all-attractive supreme personality of Godhead. See if you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hare. If you can, you're so fortunate. So try your best. Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Now, that was a very powerful program the devotees over here wrote. It took over the whole internet here. But let's try to chant individually, please, because that's more like our usual chanting that we do every day. And after all, this is a sadhana and we're practicing. But that was so powerful. I was wondering what was going to happen, and suddenly it took over. Amazing. So sit up straight. This is a very special time between you and Krishna. Time to be with Krishna in the form of his holy names. Try your best. If you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hari, you're very fortunate. See if you can remain focused and make perfect use of this very rare opportunity we have. Sit up straight. Try your best. And if you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra, beginning with Hari, you're very fortunate. You can beg for the mercy of C.C. Guru, Srila Prabhupada, Vaishnavas, C.C. Gornitai. Try to be sincere. From Krishna's side, he is kind and merciful. But from our side, we should try our best to be sincere. What do you really want in this world? Try your best to chant sincerely. Try your best. If your mind wanders, it's natural, don't worry. Just bring it back to the simple goal of being with Krishna in the form of his holy names. Try your best. And if you can hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hari, you're very fortunate. Hare Krishna. Just a few more minutes. Please continue. Try your best. Take advantage of this special time. This is your time to be with Krishna in the form of his holy names. Try your best. Sit up straight and try your best. If your mind wanders, that's all right. Let's bring it back to the simple goal of being with Krishna in the form of his holy names. Try your best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Now break in the same small group that you're chanting with. Now talk about your japa and what you would like to take with you in the next week in your chanting. Talk about that point, what you would like to take with you in your next week of chanting. Is there going to be some session in trying to organize the devotees to get together next weekend sometime perhaps and just chant and talk about japa and refocus, get some strength for the following week? But what would you like to take with you during this week in your japa? Why don't you have that discussion? Go ahead. If we don't do something like that, it'll just be, inspiration, for a couple of days and drift off into the regular world, regular consciousness. If we can make it into something a little more self-sustaining, it would be good, in my opinion. Good for everyone.
Self-sustaining.
Improving japa. Hare Krishna. Does anyone have any questions? Just raise your hand and I'll call on you. If there's any questions. Yes. Everyone, excuse me for a second. The question answered here. We won't be able to answer all of them for many reasons, but yes. Wait. Would you like the microphone or you go without it? It's coming.
Microphone, please.
Thank you. So, I have a serious problem in my Japa. I have a very adamant consciousness of being very eager to finish my rounds. I always, when I have this problem, whenever I pick up my Japmala, the first thing I think is finish the books. So how to get rid of this mentality?
Well, the simple solution easiest solution, starting solution is to change it from I want to finish my rounds to if I could hear one Hare Krishna mantra beginning with Hari and make that your goal instead of finishing your rounds. And if you make that your goals, you will finish your rounds eventually. but also you may even hear some mantras and you'll get some taste. And if you get taste in Krishna's holy names, then the mood, let me get these over and done with so I can go about all the important things I have to do. If we actually get taste, then that mood will vanish completely. One definition of good chanting is when you feel like you can continue chanting and continue chanting and continue chanting and you don't desire to stop even. So it seems to me that because I also have that very big problem times, but if I slow down, because when you want to finish the rounds, what you want to do, you speed up, get them done, skip as many beats as you can. I know more than one person who chants around in 2.5 minutes. I don't know. I can't even think that fast. But in any case, if we get a taste, that's really a blessing of Krishna. So we sincerely try to hear a mantra, and if Krishna so desires, he'll reveal something to us about, and then some taste increases, and then one tip, so to speak, is that sometimes by the grace of Krishna, if I can hear, my mind is quiet enough and I've heard enough one mantras that I could actually continuously hear. If I put my mind on the mantra, I actually hear it all the time. And then my mind is so tricky, it'll think, I can hear it anytime I want, so why do it now? And then I'll hear later, and I can think so many wonderful things on the mental platform and get so much pleasure from the mental platform. Now and then later I can chant. But then what I failed to understand is that ability to hear is actually a gift of Krishna's. So if someone gives you a gift and you take good care of that gift and use that gift wisely, and then if he so desires, he'll give you even more and more wonderful gifts. So if you get that gift, then please hear and hear and hear and chant and chant and chant. Did I answer your question? Okay.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes. But did I answer
Yes.
that question? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one mantra at a time approach.
Not one mantra at a time. Just one mantra. You can hear one mantra. Because as soon as you think of at a time, then you start thinking of the next mantra before you finish even this mantra. And then you're into the mode of passion, which means thinking of the future. So I just really tried to keep it simple. If I can hear one mantra, I'm very fortunate, beginning with Hari. Yes. Okay. Yes, we have to go to our Prahlad. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Sometimes I keep a goal, and I can tell myself that if I finish chanting these many rounds, I can see the cricket match. So I feel like, okay, I have to do this. I have to complete it or else I cannot see it.
Yes.
So I try to finish my rounds for another goal, not for this goal.
Yes.
How to overcome this thing?
What happens if your team loses? One time I was in Chandi Chowk in Delhi, many years ago. And I was in some shop getting some chasma. And suddenly I hear this roar in this, and then quiet. And then roar, cheering, quiet. And I asked the person, what's going on? And he said, India's playing Pakistan in cricket. And they won. There are higher things in life than that, and you know that. But yet we have attachments. But if we get a greater attachment for the taste of service to Krishna, of being with Krishna, then those lesser attachments will fade. So don't worry, it's like if the darkness is in the room, that's really darkness, because in your next life you may be a cricket. Who knows? You don't want to be a cricket in your next life. And so there are obviously higher things. And the highest thing is love for Krishna. But we can't make believe that's our goal when it's not yet our goal. But gradually, if we get a taste for chanting Krishna's names, the darkness of our lesser desires, of our material desires, will go away in the same way that darkness automatically goes away when the sun rises. If you say, oh, I have so much darkness, now I should take my broom and sweep it away, it just doesn't work that way. But as soon as the sun comes up, the darkness goes away. So within the standard rules and regulations and practices that we've been given, we try to increase our taste. Param drisvanavartate. Otherwise, we just go on the strength of intelligence. Oh, I'm not allowed to watch this, I'm not allowed to do this, and I'm not allowed to do this, and I'm not allowed to do this. International Society for all the things you're not allowed to do. I mean, and then you have to preach to others. You should also not do this, and not do this, and not do this, and not do this. We should spread the misery. But higher taste. Higher taste is what we want. So how to get that higher taste? Pray to Krishna. Oh, this one, by the way, you should take to Balaram. I say, Balaram, what can I do? My team, we want to win. What can I know it's not the highest, but and please give me the taste that will bring true satisfaction to the heart. You pray about this, but also be very patient with yourself as well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any of the Matajis have a question? Yes.
So how to make attachment to the chanting? So whenever we get the free time, we feel like talking to the parents or sisters, talking to the colleagues. Why not I do snacks for the children? But I don't feel like taking out my chanting bag and do chanting. How do I develop that attachment to the chanting?
Same answer. Same answer to both questions, actually. We need the higher taste. But also, you still have to make snacks for our children. Otherwise, but do you like to sing also? Then you should sing while whatever you do, you should sing the holy names of Krishna. Do you know many, many melodies? Do you play harmonium too? No, but it's okay. Just sing. Just sing and sing the holy names of Krishna. I know some devotees who have developed this wonderful habit of always chanting and singing. It's the greatest of habits. It brings such satisfaction to the heart. But still make snacks. Anyone else? Any other? Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
I always have a question.
A little louder, please.
I always have a question. Where do we, what is the right number of rounds we should do? As sometimes we keep varying the speed of the rounds also. If we have less time, we tend to do faster. As you said, maybe in the last 2 days session, I felt when I don't think about future, I just focus on today's. This is my time with Krishna. Then I am doing very peacefully. But many times the speed keeps varying, and also where do we stop? How many rounds we should do in a day? Prabhupada has described 16 rounds. Many of us
16 rounds or 16 rounds minimum. I never heard him say maximum, either on 16 rounds or ever give a maximum. But on the other hand, Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always chant Krishna's names. Because if we're not chanting, at least I can say for myself, there's no telling what my mind's going to do and where it's going to drag me. So it's quite dangerous. And we're always looking for, the material mind is looking for distractions. That's all it is, a distraction. And then we have the weapon of mass distraction over here. Mine's turned off, by the way. Yes. Yeah, so do you like to chant? You're so fortunate. You're so fortunate. So increase that taste and chant Kirtaniya Sadahari. No maximum. I know there's a but. Go ahead, say it. But see, I knew there was it was hidden. He tried to hide it, but it came out anyway.
fallen fruits in this negativity world, and so many perspectives. Totally agree what you are doing. It keeps coming, and that's why maybe Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds for all of us, and maximum we should do. So my question was this: where do we, how much we should target minimum 16, and what speed? Sometimes speed is a, as I said, sometimes we try to rush for it. Normally, it should not.
Let's try to hear one Hare Krishna mantra and think yourself so fortunate. Because that kind of a question, what should I do if I have, you say, you chant as much as you can. And then the person naturally will say, but I have so many other responsibilities. And then you say, well, just chant as much as you can. And they say, but then should I chant faster or slow? And I'm chanting as much as I can. So I say, leave me alone. You figure it out. Just try. You understand the philosophy. You understand the principle that we're covered. The consciousness is covered. It's dark. We can't go beyond concepts and thinking that is material. But then some light, something comes in from the spiritual world in the form of the holy names, in the form of the deities, in the forms of devotional service, in the forms of Bhagavatam. So our goal is to fill our consciousness with spiritual light, so to speak. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. So as much as you can, you're fortunate. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, it's the long, we need another microphone, I think. One here, one. Okay, we have another microphone. Just have time for a few more questions. Because I wanted to show you something. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I was hearing.
Oh, yes.
Spiritual master was telling, chanting, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. And I thought, I'm the spiritual master. So,
you heard?
What is the meaning of deeper?
Well, the meaning is, okay, I know how to answer this question. Because obviously different people, different devotees will mean different things perhaps, but clearly the deepest is love for Krishna, prema bhakti. So deeper means what my consciousness now is moving towards prema bhakti. So how to do that? Because I agree with you, go deeper in your Krishna consciousness. So it means move towards love for Krishna, so towards attachment to Krishna, etc. So how to do that? We chant, our whole life is meant for that. How to use the material part of our life in the service of the spiritual. How to, it brings up some very practical questions. How to eat, how to live, how to deal with my family, how to deal with my health, how to deal with my finances, how to deal with my reading, and balance all the friendships, how to deal with my life in such a practical way that I get deeper and deeper or advance further and further. So those are very important questions. So I can only answer, of course, in a general way right now, but that's my understanding of what deeper means. Is that okay? Okay. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Did you want to say something, Prabhu, or you just want to serve all the devotees? Prabhupada actually said, the only question I ever asked my spiritual master is, how can I serve you? Wow.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, now.
Hare
Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this is in regards to the early morning japa. When we go to sleep, even though we go to sleep early, sometimes because we have to wake up early, in our mind it's like, oh, we have to wake up early. So in between also we have breaks in the sleep. 2 o'clock we get up thinking that, oh, it's 3:30 or not. Or 1 o'clock thinking it's 3:30 or not. And that way the sleep doesn't get sometimes completed. But it's a good problem, but probably just want to understand how to deal with that kind of anxiety.
I was going to ask you that same question. especially as we get older. As men, we tend to get up in the night. Yeah. So your question really is, how do I get enough sleep? And how much sleep is enough? Because if we're tired and chanting, then it's very difficult to be attentive and we doze off. And then if we're tired at work, in our service, it's dangerous. You're tired driving, it's dangerous. Then we'll get angry at everyone, etc., etc. So take as much rest as you require. So how to balance all the different parts of our life is not easy. If we're disciplined, it helps certainly, but some of us aren't very disciplined by nature. So life is a balancing act, even if it's always a balancing act. And to balance properly, one has to be quite conscious, which means aware, which means introspective, which means sattva gun. So a whole life is really, the lifestyle of Krishna consciousness is based on cultivating sattva gun. And yeah. So how to get better, more quality sleep? So sometimes you're at a computer most of the day?
That's one of the main jobs.
Yeah. So if don't be in a computer or your mobile phone late at night, if you can avoid it, because otherwise that increases the vata in the mind, and then it's hard to fall asleep. And then while you're sleeping, your sleep is light and your mind is running all over so many things. So some practical steps in that direction. Do you have friends who you can ask that practical question to, who know you? And
Yes, sir.
okay, good. You're fortunate. Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah. Oops, the Mataji in the back. She is almost as fast as the Prabhu in front. And then one more question, and then we'll stop. Because I want to show you something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, like I want to understand, this is the current birth, present birth.
Yes.
So once the soul leaves the body, so in the next birth, between the next birth and the soul, do the soul retain the memory? Like
Wait, a little slower. Between the end of this life
yes,
and the next life.
yes.
What's the question?
Do the soul retains the memory? Like today I am a devotee of Krishna. So will I remember, like once I die, so will I be able to remember that I was a devotee of Krishna?
Yes. Not exactly remember what your last life was, but have a natural attraction for the things related to Krishna consciousness. That Krishna promises. That even a little advancement. What's the verse? Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Yeah, it's yours. It's like it's your wealth forever. The impressions that you have, favorable impressions about Krishna consciousness, they are your wealth. So our life is meant to collect wealth, true wealth, that's truly ours. I think of it in terms of jewels. We want to collect as many jewels of attraction and attachments to Krishna as we can in our life. And those are ours forever. When you think of the things in Krishna consciousness that you are most attached to, could you tell me one?
Singing Krishna bhajans.
So increase that attachment until you can't live for a moment without chanting Krishna's glories. Whatever attachments Krishna gives you, I think of it like it's Krishna's opening the door to him, to getting closer. So when he opens the door, we should walk through that door as best we can. So you like to chant Krishna's bhajans.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What else do you like?
I didn't get you, Prabhuji.
What else do you like in Krishna's service?
I like doing seva to Laddu Gopalji.
So serve Sri Vigraha with devotion. Whatever door Krishna opens for you, which means attachments and taste, that's Krishna's gift, and walk through that door. What do you think of that point? What do you think of that point?
I'm aligned with you, Prabhuji.
Oh, but I didn't ask you. But I'm so happy to hear that. But I was talking to this Prabhu here, who didn't raise his hand even. What do you think of that point, that whatever attachments and attractions, Mataji, please excuse me for speaking so impolitely. Hare Krishna. Yes. What do you think of that point, that whatever attachments and attraction Krishna gives you, that's a gift, and you should walk through that? But don't start with we should. I said, what do you think of that point?
I feel very grateful to the Lord because they are not the control. He is giving me this ability. But then I should use that to serve the Lord more and more.
You should increase it. If you have an attachment to, an attraction to the holy names, kirtan, to Japa, to the Bhagavatam, to the holy Dhams, to the serving the devotees, towards serving the deities. It's a gift of Krishna, and it's your wealth. So you go through that and expand it. Hare Krishna.
Let us ask a question also to you.
Let me think about that. Is it a deep philosophical question? Is it a very simple question? Okay, you can ask. No problem.
So basically, when doing chanting, you will instruct our minds to be to clearly hear the Mahamantra. So
One Mahamantra. That's what I suggested.
So when you give this instruction to mind, it certainly helps to hear one Mahamantra, but immediately mind starts analyzing, did I hear? Oh yes, I could hear. Or that means I missed it. So we hear certainly it is helping, but after that next 2 or 3 Mahamantras goes in analyzing what I did before it comes back again.
You have written a very interesting program for yourself. So what I suggest is that when your mind says that, did I hear or not hear, just say, just hear one Hare Krishna mantra, the one you're chanting right now. Don't fall into the trap, because it's a trap, believe me. Did I really hear it? What does it really mean to hear? I wonder if this person over here is hearing as well as I'm hearing. I kind of doubt it. I don't think anyone could, but this one, I don't know about that one over there. And anyway, last week, they didn't serve me enough prasadam. And that person couldn't be, just, you pull one thread and the mind is gone. So just bring it back to the simple goal on this level of hearing one Hare Krishna mantra, the one you're chanting right now. And if you can hear one mantra, you're very fortunate. Keep it simple. What does it mean to hear? What does it mean to not hear? What does it mean to hear deeply? And how deep is deeply? Is deeply as deep as deeply? Or, oh, I wonder if they're chanting deeply, or only maybe they're chanting, maybe someone's chanting deeply. Therefore, in the 23rd chapter of the 11th canto, the Avanti Brahmana concludes, there is no cause of distress other than the mind, my mind. So if we can make friends with our mind, and if it can slow down and become attached to the holy names of Krishna, we are very fortunate. Okay? Thank you. Okay, I wanted to show you something. Are you ready? Remember which one is first? The one on welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, but will there be sound also?
Yes.
Okay, this, what?
Sound is needed.
Yes, sound is definitely needed. But, and also this one, Sri Gaur Prabhu, he drove me to Govardhan on this day. Yeah. Oh,
Wait, I'll share it for the online.
okay. I'll tell you what, maybe I won't tell you why I included this. Okay, stop for a second. The reason why I included this section in the beginning is because, can you see all right? And can you hear even? We'll need to make it louder. Is because I can't speak any Hindi. So when these very kind devotees, you know, this was at Govardhan, we took this, and they want to say something to you, but I don't speak Hindi and they don't speak English usually. But when they speak, I speak a few words of Hindi and they only speak a few words of English. So almost always they say, what is your country? Because that's, everyone almost knows how to say that. So he said that. So I thought it was cute. And you also think my Hindi is funny because I can't actually understand what he's saying. But anyway, go ahead. Very gentle soul.
Kiraj, बहुत सुंदर है। हाँ, ठीक है। Lucky.
Yeah, yes, very, very lucky. Yeah. Sir, coming from?
Coming from? Here at Govardhan, welcome soul.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Giriraj Govardhan. Giriraj Govardhan is so famous now all over the world, and in these places, all the great sadhus, Mahaprabhu and all the six Goswamis, they wandered, and Krishna himself with all the cows wandered around Giriraj Govardhan. And when one comes to Giriraj Govardhan, one feels welcome, and one sees monkeys too, and one sees bulls, and one feels very, very, very welcome. So I've written a simple sort of poem about Giriraj Govardhan and how Giriraj Govardhan welcomes everyone. So here it is. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hope you like it. Hare Krishna. Giriraj Govardhan welcomes all.
Giriraj Govardhan welcomes all.
He, the immovable, rested on Krishna's little finger as mighty winds and storms tortured the Brijbasis. He, serene and peaceful, freshly bathed, cleansed by Indra's rains, remained radiant, beautiful, undisturbed. Anointed by the fragrance of Krishna's divine body, he heard the flute song as Giridhari cheerily balanced him on the smallest finger of his left hand. Even as fierce rains and blinding darkness covered the sky above him, as high piercing winds and hail battered him, as Indra's thunder clapped and flashed overhead, he saw Krishna's effulgence and felt his sweet breath's touch and felt only ecstasy. Giriraj's affection warms me like a dear friend. His trees, gnarled and bent low in surrender, are shelter. To the Brijbasis, he is Baba. If you have a problem, go to Baba. He will help. He is the softest of rocks, the original rock star, the favorite hill in Braja, the best of Hari's servants, and he soothes away pain with his own joy. Sadhus and bulls, parrots, cows, monkeys, Gujarati pilgrims, begging bhajan singers, he consoles and comforts even the most fallen who embrace his shelter, as he, Giriraj Govardhan, welcomes all to Braja, even me. Hare Krishna. Well, that was our poem. I hope that it was satisfying to your heart, and I hope that Giriraj Govardhan, we're very close to the Prikrama Marg over here, and there's the motorcycles and the cars and everyone going through, but yet Giriraj Govardhan's mercy is here, and Giriraj Govardhan welcomes everyone. So we hope that Giriraj Govardhan shows you some special mercy. Hare Krishna.
Oh, wait. We've recently opened up a retreat center at Govardhan because we wanted to have a nice facility for devotees to come and in groups and have programs and in a peaceful way get some mercy from Guru Raj Govardhan. Yeah, so this is just a little video about the retreat center. Go ahead. It's a gift of Guru Raj Govardhan and so many devotees. Hare Krishna. So we hope to see you all in the shelter of Guru Raj Govardhan and some Krishna Katha there. Okay. Did you want to say anything? But it's so hard to say that our Japa time together is over. So I won't say it, but oh yeah, I could say that next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have some classes on which temple?
ACS layout.
Okay. Yes. So I have some classes on Akura's journey to Vrindavan, which is quite an amazing pastime. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.